starts to come and like the weather starts to get back to normal, there's this scent I get from like the spring weather. I don't know what it is exactly, but I get this scent from the spring weather, like that after rain smell that just reminds me of a kid in elementary school when I was, young enough to be in elementary school. I don't know, I always felt like I felt a connection. Felt felt a deep connection with outside, like Mother Nature. I feel like the weather has always like helped guided me in certain ways. I've always had much respect for Mother Nature. Hi, how are you today? How was your day? I so much enjoy this weather. It's like not too cold, not too hot. I mean, it's still in the 40s, like 48, 49, but it's it definitely looks nice now that all the snow is melted away. Hopefully it stays melted. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. How's the dog? Hope hope she's been doing well. It's it's funny. It's funny that you're here because I have a new client that I start not tomorrow, Tuesday I start, and they have two Australian Shepherds. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and it's gonna be fun. It's a nice big old yard, so I think when normally when people tell me their dog, it normally implies that they're gonna be outside. So I'm looking forward to actually working around those two, and they're nice dogs. Well, I assume they're nice dogs. Otherwise, she wouldn't let them come out. But I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be like they want a one-time cleanup because luckily, because of all the snow melting away, there's so much mess that was left underneath the snow before they could get to it. So they kind of want like a full cleaning, and then they're probably most likely going to do monthly after that, which is good for me because I don't mind having an excuse to go back that way once a month to go see those two Australian Shepherds. I didn't get to see what they looked like yet, but I can only imagine because they come in so many different varieties of fur patterns. So I'm really excited. Hello, Alexa. Pleasure to have you here with us. How has your day been? I really love Australian Shepherds. They're such cool little guys and girls. Can you give me a shout out? Yeah, sure, dude. Shout out to Lee Hill for being such a great guy, showing up, giving me some love on my channel, gracing the channel. He's got a great channel himself. Go and check it out. Be sure to check it out. Tell him I sent you. Go ahead, bro. You can clip that if you want. Use that as a bite. I hope I did that right for you, dude. Oh, yeah, you want? I can give you a. Yeah, of course. I'm always looking for somebody that wants to be a moderator. I think it's good for the community. Yeah, no problem. And if you leave a comment on one of my other videos, I'll be able to cause I can't look up the live chat for some reason after the video's over. But if you comment on one of my videos, I'll click on that so I can get onto your page and I'll actually subscribe, and I'll give you some love over there, dude. Give you some love for your page. Happy Ramadan, man. I hope your week has been well. Starting a new week, dude. Much blessings, bro. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, dude, and enjoy this brand new week that's coming. Yeah, I'm okay. How are you today? Oh, sorry, it was in the dark. I forgot that I'm supposed to put the light on. I'm still kind of learning as I go. And I don't want the title to be misleading. I have Revan, but Revan couldn't hang. He fell asleep. Come on, bro. Everyone was here, dude. You fell asleep. Lightweight. But yeah, I'll give you subscribe to your page so that way I can do whatever I can to help out. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And Yasmin, thank you for coming. I am okay. It's a great Sunday. I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here with everybody. It's always a pleasure, And hold on. Yeah, so Latoya, you got the wrench. You can. I appreciate you wanting to be a moderator. Not too many people. I have a few people that were nice enough to be moderators. So now you are one of those additional people. I really appreciate that. All right, perfect. As soon as I'm off this, as soon as I get off the live, I will give you I'll give you a sub, and then I'll check some of your stuff out too. I'm interested to see what kind of content do you do. I did like a plethora of content. I started with like Fortnite when I was younger, and then made my way into like this, and then walks with the dogs, and we do a lot of cool walks in the woods and all that stuff. Of course, all the cool stuff happens when I don't have the camera on, so it's like, you know, go figure. But we still have a fun time, and now that the weather's getting better. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So it's like sports. Okay. Perfect, dude. I'll be sure to check it out myself, and I'll definitely I'll try to make a post too to share it additionally, in case some people didn't see this live. They might have come across it when they scroll down their YouTube feed. Hello, Cooper. Thank you for joining. How was your day today? Yeah, I'm sorry. Normally he's awake for these. He's very normally he's very talkative too. He likes to come and look at the screen and actually like say stuff. Oh, he doesn't know how to clap. He barely knows how to give me a high five, let alone clap. I don't think dogs can clap. I don't know if their arms actually. I don't know if their arms bend that way. But it is what it is, you know. I don't think I've ever heard of dogs clapping. His ears clap. Yeah, his ears clap when he shakes. It goes like. Oh, no, dude. No, that's not nice, dude. That's not nice, dude. That's not nice. That's not nice. I feel even more bad that I timed you out, though, so I'm sorry that I timed you out. Timed out for 1.8 thousand seconds. That's a lot of seconds. I'm sorry. I don't think I meant to do it for. Oh man, I meant to do it for 30 seconds. I don't know why it says 1.8 thousand. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. Bro, stop. Yeah, no, he's gonna stop for 1.8 thousand seconds, I guess. Sorry about that again. I'm good. The day's been pretty good. I was running around with this crazy little guy. I guess he got tired out. Pretty much just there's some problem with my car that I got. Well, I kind of fixed it, so I hope. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, but hopefully that's okay. But the weather's been getting nicer, so I'm just excited to. Oh yeah, sure. Hey, bro, you want to wake up and say hi? He's snoring. Oh, sorry, dude. You ready? Watch this, though. This is why I like him so much. Oh, he already got. Sorry. No, it's okay. You go to sleep, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry, bro. Where'd you go? There you are. You ready? Watch this. Lightning fast. He's my little security guard at night, dude. Yeah, he's pooped. He's just, Huh? Oh, he's up now. Hey, buddy. Oh, no, nobody's driving. I'm parked. It's, we're parked next to the Caterpillar. What an odd name for such a big machine. There we are. Oh, he went back and fell asleep now. He was like, I'm leaving. You didn't want to come and say hi, bro? I did the live stream so we could go on together, dude. Yeah. And then at 2 in the morning, he's gonna. At 2 in the morning, you'll hear him eating. I make the mistake of leaving the food out, but I mean, if he's hungry, I mean, we're on a weird cycle. I guess nobody's really innocent in that situation, but welcome back. Welcome back. We were just talking about Revan. We woke him up. Well, I woke him up, and then he got mad. He went in the back and fell back asleep. Yeah, so I do. Yeah, I do. So I do the van life thing. So I unfortunately something had happened about 6 months ago, which caused me to have to go into my car at the time, and then I ended up getting him, and I ended up switching to the van and just going to do the whole van thing. And instead of really saving money towards the towards getting an apartment, I decided to put money towards starting my own pet waste removal. And so what I've been doing is finally I've been getting more and more people, and everything's really picking up speed. So I kind of gambled on it, but I'm just trying to do the long run, and it's a job that I can actually keep Revan with me all the time, because if I had to, I wouldn't have been able to find somebody to go and watch him all the time, and then if I had to pay for daycare for someone to watch him, I would have never got into a apartment like that either. So what I tried to do is I tried to incorporate Revan where he could be with me and not be, he could be a part of what it is I'm doing. And not only is he a part of what I'm doing, hold on, I'll show you. He's actually he's the face for my business card. So he's technically like my little partner. And what I do is when I go, I keep my equipment up on my roof, and then I go to every house to house, and he stays right in the passenger seat and watches over everything. But he's friends with some of the dogs because I know some of the people personally. So he'll come out with me, and he'll run into the yard and play with their dogs while I go and clean everything up. And I charge very cheap on purpose. I charge cheap on purpose because I believe in really good service, but for a really good price and a reasonable price. No, please don't. You don't have to donate. You don't have to donate. I say it all the time. It's the fact that you come here, and it just I appreciate the conversation so much, because like I said, I don't really get to talk to many people. It's just me and Revan. So this is valuable on its own, and it means a lot. So I appreciate this. Just you being here. Oh, thank you for subbing. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I always like to add another friend into the community. Yeah, you never have to worry about that, Lee. Just the fact that, like, I don't know, I just like the company more than anything else. And, nowadays, it's hard to come by, or at least decent company, or genuine company rather. And so I can appreciate the value in that more than anything else. Usually I don't really. I said I was gonna do it every day, but this is the first. Well, I came on this morning for a little bit, but I haven't done it really in the last couple of days. But I'm gonna try to come back and stream more often, especially at night, or either the morning or at night, because I don't know, that seems to be what I always end up streaming. Unless I'm walking the dog. If I'm doing like a walk through the woods or whatever, I'll go live for that too, and just sort of let the camera be viewed on him and just watch him as he walks. Oh goodness, I would say maybe around this time usually, like where I am right now. Because of daylight savings too. It's like 7:30 right now, but normally around 6:30, 7:30. That's when I show up over here, because if I don't show up at a certain time, I'll lose a good spot, and then I'll have to park next to the trucks, and then nobody's really gonna sleep that well because they're so noisy. And you would think that the trucks would actually be good for me to sleep next to because of the tinnitus. I have this thing called tinnitus where my ears are always just constantly ringing. So you would think that would drown it out, but it drowns it out a little too much. And I swear you can feel like the vibration from the trucks. So it's like I come here earlier. So I'm in Mass. Good old New England. I had to leave. Oh, well, I appreciate that. Well, look, if you're still live when I get off, I'll probably get off soon anyway. I'll definitely come over. I'll come over and I'll try to show some support. Did you and maybe it'll help you get some. It'll also help with like the watch time hours and stuff because I know YouTube's always asking for that type of stuff. So it's like I can always try to watch. I'm always looking to like I'm in the car, so it's like I'm always willing to watch stuff. If people send me stuff, I'll watch it, and if it'll help towards their ultimate goal, you know, it works out for both of us because I'd really like to see what people are doing, and I know that people could really benefit from the extra viewer if they can. My story? Jeez. My story's a long one, and I can't say it's that interesting. Oh, you are just saying, but I can tell you a little bit if you'd like. Well, I'm glad you're starting out. If I could just say one thing, just remember to just treat it like you would as if people were right next door to you. You know what I mean? So keep it genuine. Just make sure they see you. Don't ever have to feel like you have to put on something to be appealing to other people. The people that are most genuine to what you feel will always... Oh, wow, somebody's back up next to us. Revan's gonna wake up and be like, who the heck is this? Always be genuine to yourself, and you'll always get the best results. And sometimes you might have to sometimes you gotta touch the kettle to realize it's hot, but trust me, it'll always work out, because there's always people that are gonna be... People say, oh, nobody's really alike, everybody's different, but you'll be surprised with how many people that have, you know, common interests, and you'll definitely find that out there when you meet new people. I can only go live for 14 minutes. Why is that? Is that like a restriction on your YouTube, or is that like because you just only want to go for 14 minutes? Well, either way, if it saves on to your channel, I'll go on and I'll still watch it and leave a comment then, you know, whatever I can do to help. Yeah, but as far as my story goes, it's honestly, it's just one of trial and error. I've been through like some weird stuff, but like I don't like to say that because I don't want to be like that person that's like, oh, you know, I've gone through this and that. But like honestly, I just I've learned a lot through my experience though, and I wouldn't change it for anything. No matter how bad some times might have been, and how good other times might have been, and then how some of those good times got ripped away into bad times, you know, everything sort of brought me to where I am now. And I feel like if any of that had gotten changed, it wouldn't lead me to where I am now with Revan. And I feel like Revan has been the biggest, it has given me the biggest change as a person. And I think it was the responsibility, like obviously the companionship, but the responsibility, because I didn't really know what I was going to do, because I was just pretty much stuck in a dead-end job, just pretty much trying to, you know, keep going and going and going, and trying to fool myself into thinking that I was going to become something spectacular by doing the same old thing. And I realized that I try to take a lot of risks. Like, I've gambled so many times and tried so many things, and it failed time after time after time. And even with YouTube, technically at first I had this idea that I was going to come out and just get, like, everyone was just gonna love what I put out, and that never really happened. But it was slow, but I built myself up, and I never really gave up on it, and I continued it, but like I knew I wasn't going to like make a lot of money on it. I knew this was turning more into like a hobby where I just was trying to display some of my creativity with some of the things I really liked. No, I never, the most I ever did was, I drank, you know, as a young kid, which is like, you know, obviously before 21, and mostly weed. I mean, I smoked a lot of weed as a kid, and it kind of, you know, it kind of, it stayed with me for a long time. But, no, as far as drugs go, you know, when I was younger, I was having some trouble with, like, you know, the whole, like, anxiety thing, you know, like, they said, you know, depression and all this stuff. So I had a bad experience. That's why I don't not advocate for, you know, like antidepressants and stuff like that, but I can only speak off of like my situation, and I had a bad experience with it as a kid, which had triggered a bunch of other things in a result, which just really like gave me a really bad experience of like the whole, you know, mental health sort of thing, so to speak. But back then, it was a lot different than it was now. But it basically, what I did was, is somebody who kind of just took all of that after the experience happened, and I kind of just took all that and sort of just realized that, like, any anxiety or anything like that I feel, I need to keep to myself and keep going, because it got to a point where I didn't even trust, like, I didn't trust too many people. I didn't trust the doctors too much, not because, like, I didn't trust the doctors because they were wrong or anything, but I just didn't trust where, how they would, like, view me and how everything was. And so it got to the point where, I started to smoke a lot of weed and just drink to sort of deal with my issues, and instead of trying to take medication again. And what basically, I drank pretty much, until last year when I got the tinnitus, I pretty much drank almost every day. And then what's it called? Then I smoked weed pretty much every day. I smoked weed up until recently. I'll occasionally smoke weed again. I will not buy weed because I don't find that as an appropriate, like, necessity to spend money on right now, even if I think it is something that'll, like, calm me down or whatever. But it's okay. It's okay. You have to. You're always welcome back, or it's always okay for you to leave if you want. You don't ever have to. You don't have to apologize for anything like that. But no, it's not. When I was younger, it got legalized around the time, like, a little after I started dealing with, like, like, just, like, trying to figure myself out. So I was able to get, like, it was more readily available, so I had more access to it. If it was still illegal, I'm sure that it would have been a slower process, but because it was so much more accessible, even to like the access of, like, it was pretty much as accessible as alcohol was. As long as you knew someone that could go in and buy it, you could get it at that point. Oh, you're gonna start now? I wish you the best of luck, and remember, dude, just be yourself. What, weed? Wait, are you talking about weed? Was it scary the first time I did weed? Or like the? Oh, no, I never really had a bad experience. I think that's why I kept it around so long, is because I never really had a bad experience. But it was like, but let me rephrase that. For somebody that was, like, more like a normal person, that, like, doesn't have any, like, issues, it could probably be more problematic for that, because you could eventually get paranoid, and I could definitely see how you could overthink. But for somebody that was, like, already going at 100 miles an hour, always overthinking, always overanalyzing, and always, like, just being a kid at that age, going through whatever you go through, for me, it was just a crutch that kind of kept me in balance, believe it or not. It wasn't like I'm not saying that's something I needed, but, like, I tend to realize it was something that sort of, it was less stressful when I had it around. But it wasn't something that, like, it's not something, like, personally, this conversation right here, I don't normally go around when weed comes up. I tell people nothing, like, because I'm not one of those people that smoked weed and was like, oh, yo, man, I'm so stoned and all that. I recognize, like, it had some sort of help with my just like with me and whatever it was I was going. I'm trying to word things very carefully, so that's why I'm sort of, like, hesitant when I say things. But it's I realized it was something that could be helpful, and I don't want to be like, I was somebody that really just was smoking weed in private, if that makes sense. Like, I would go and smoke with my buddies here and there, but I wasn't somebody that, like, I wouldn't smoke out in public to the day I stopped. Even if I go and see a couple of my buddies, if we go to the house, whatever. But if we're out in public or in the car, I'm like, no way. I don't like the stigma around it. No, it's okay. I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, it's cool to talk about. I don't really talk about it. It's not like I got anyone to talk about it with. So it's like I appreciate you asking about that. It's just something that like I don't know. I often blame like the same thing for like a lot of my like shortcomings, but at the same time I blame a lot of my shortcomings on me, of course. But you know, things are just I learned so much, and that's why I just kept such a positive attitude about everything, because it's like you kind of have to at this at this point. Everybody does, you know, because I mean, with everything going around right now with in this world, it's like you kind of have to. Hey, there he is. You want to say hi? Okay. You just want to go to sleep? You want to go to bed? Oh, bro. Oh, sorry, dude. I just shocked him. You're such a good guy, dude. Such a good guy. Alright, I won't bother you anymore, dude, I promise. He's such a good guy. He's so nice. Oh, his name is Revan. It's Revan. Oh, sorry, dude. I didn't mean to call you. My bad. He's like, he's like almost 7 months. Oh, am I about to end? I'll probably round it off to like the half an hour or 45 minutes. It depends on if anyone sticks around. I mean, if nobody stays, I mean, I'll definitely end it then. I don't mind. Wait, why? Were you waiting for me to get off so you could go live? Because if that's the case, my apologies. I didn't know that's what you were doing. But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, no matter where life brings you, sometimes it's just it's kind of weird, because I always end up finding myself reverting back to like the same like I don't know. I come to the same places, but in a different stage in life, and I always find it interesting when I reflect back. And like a year ago from now, I was in a whole different place, like a completely different place. Before I got like, yeah, this was like before a year ago from now. It was like I had tinnitus. I just got the tinnitus, and like I thought my whole world was going upside down. Honestly, you might be. I don't know, because it never tells me how many people. My iPhone's so messed up that it never tells me when anyone's watching. So what was your motivational quote for someone who's going through high school? For someone who's going through high school, like struggling going through high school, or like, you know, just normally passing and just doing their thing. Oh, there's 5 people watching? Oh, that's so awesome. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's like a group. That's literally like a group, like in a room, a group full of people. Somebody struggling. You gotta think of it like this. If you hear people all the time talk about investing their money, you know, the millionaires talking about investing their money, you know, nobody makes any money when you invest at that moment. In fact, you could technically say you lost money, right? So it's like it's sort of something that nobody likes to think about, but it happens, right? And that's how you should think about it with school too. It's an investment for a long-term opportunity. Nobody likes to put in their own money and not have access to that money. It's technically a gamble, but like the lucky thing about school, the difference between school and the stock though, is you have a chance to like make that luck. You make your own luck in that scenario, and you write your own story, as opposed to like, you know, relying off the stock market. But it's still a gamble. At the end of the day, it's a gamble and an investment. The time and struggle you put in now, you get back later, and in a comfortable status. And I can say that from the wrong end of the spectrum, because I stopped at my diploma, and that was it, because I thought I thought I had the world figured out. So it's like I could tell you from that standpoint that like we might know what we're talking about back then, But when I look back, if I could see my older self, like I said though, no regrets. If I could go back and look at my younger self, I'd probably look at myself, shake my head, and just laugh and be like, "What the hell was I thinking?" I never went through college. I fooled myself into thinking I was gonna go to college, and I actually I had a job lined up for the carpenters union out here, and my grandfather was actually there for 50 years and then retired. So they were literally like, "You're gonna get the job no matter what. All you got to do is this, and this." And I did this, and the last thing was a drug test. And because how strongly I felt about weed at the time, I didn't find a way to make it work. And that's where I say, the weed was a double-edged situation where, yeah, it may have helped me out mentally to some capacity, but it cost me other opportunities along the way. And that's where, that's where it kind of, that's where it kind of sucked. But as far as going through school and struggling right now, I mean, you have to look around too and think about, like, you got to think about what you really want for yourself, though, because, maybe you don't get along with the teachers. Maybe it's like something you just don't want to. I got to tell you right now that it gets even worse if that's the case, because you're going to find unless you go into business for yourself, or like someone that you're going to go work for really well, there's always that chance you're going to have a boss that's even worse than that teacher. And not only that, but they're the ones that sign the check. So it's like they can make or break the situation too. And it's like you learn that over time. So it's like, pick your battles wisely. Maybe you might not like somebody, but go in there and utilize the resources that they have to offer for you. And when you're done utilizing those resources, you don't ever have to see them again. You can drop it and go. And that's how I would think about it. But like I said, I wasn't somebody that made it through college. I never went to college because I tried to do it differently. But there's a lot of people in college that might just say, "What is this guy talking about? He's not making any sense. Please don't listen to this guy." And that's perfectly reasonable too. I can only offer the opposite end of whatever success looks like. I can offer you what the opposite end feels like, and then you can either take the lesson and go with it, or you can just point and laugh and be like, "Look at the loser." You could do either or. But I really hope that, like, you just remember that as long as you put a lot of value into yourself, it's hard to fail. It's very hard to fail. But if you put value into yourself and then get like shaky halfway through and you don't stay committed, you could fail. But if you believe in yourself wholeheartedly through and through, you will always find a way to make it. Yeah, he's snoring. He's like, yeah, see, that's why, another reason why I named him Revan, because it was after a Star Wars character named Darth Revan, and he sounds like Darth Revan. Just a baby boy. Yeah, the little guy, dude. I keep him up sometimes, doing the live streams and doing a bunch of other stuff. He'll be 7 months in about like. He'll be 7 months in like 3 days, 4 days. Yeah, when I got him when he was 6.5 weeks old. But before that, I saw him about 3 or 4 days after he was born, and that's when I bought him. I paid them cash up front because I wanted to make sure that he did not get taken by anybody else. And then I went every weekend and visited him. And I had this t-shirt that I would wear all the time. It was this white t-shirt. I loved this white t-shirt, so I would always wear it. And he was born in August, so it was like the summertime. And yeah, so what I decided to do, I mean, I really loved that shirt. And yeah, it was a stupid idea, I think, now that I think back of it. But what I did was I cut up the shirt. And what I did was every time I went back, I would tie the little shirt on him somewhere, so that way he would keep my scent with him and remember me. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can hold on. While I do that, I'm going to show everybody where I'm at. I parked over here because these people took my regular spot. Both of them. The van guy's cool, though. The other people are kind of weird. Every time I come and, like, wave at them, they just, like, they board up. They, like, put trash bags over the window and, like, look at me like I'm, like, crazy or something. Doesn't help when they see me wrestling with Revan, and Revan sounds like a psychopath over there freaking out. And he likes to growl and bark when we play, and like people like all they see is like this wild pit bull with his mouth open, growling and all that, and they don't even realize he's a nice little guy. Everyone thinks he's a pit bull. And it's funny, I have people, like older people, walk up and they'll be like, oh, what a nice little dog. And they'll be like, oh, what is it, a pit bull mix? And I'm like, it's a Staffweiler. I go, it's got nothing to do with a pit bull. But he looks like his mom, and his mom is the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And she's an old school Staffy, an Amstaff. And that's what he looks like. The daddy's a Roddy. I was just staring at this tree before I went live. I don't know, it reminded me of like when I was a kid in elementary school, these trees. They're really similar to this place called Hosmer School. Yeah, that was a game that I grew up playing that like to this day, I still have it. I have it on the Nintendo Switch that I have somewhere. And then I have it on my phone, I have it on my computer, and then I gave my Xbox away to my little brother when I had to do the van thing. So but I had it on there too. But I always keep that around. I don't even consider it a video game, to be honest with you. I consider it a story, like a virtual hands-on story. So like every so often I go back and I'll like revisit the story and like go through it again. And I'll clip a lot of it and I'll put it on YouTube. That's what I started doing when I first started the channel. I would throw a lot of YouTube clips up of like Star Wars and just like old school Star Wars, because when The Mandalorian came out, everyone was so excited about that, and I was like, no, you guys don't understand. They were the real Mandalorians before that were the real like badasses, and so I started uploading like Mandalore the Preserver, Canderous Ordo, and all of that. Oh, you read the books? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, so you know about Knights of the Old Republic then, or the Old Republic era in general. Darth Maul, Vitiate, even the Old Republic era. Yeah, Darth Bane. Oh yeah, no, I know all of it. I tried to dedicate a long time. I'm sorry, I'm trying to switch it back to me, but it won't let me switch it back. I studied all of that. I tend to admire my top 5 for Sith Lords. I would say it, in not this particular order either, but Nihilus, Kreia. I would consider Revan kind of Sith, but not really completely Sith since he came back. But Darth Maul, Darth Vitiate, and Palpatine's in there too. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I gotta make him part of it, because like, all he wants to do is be a part of the crew, and that's what like, all he wants to do is just be included, and like this, what better way to do that, and especially capturing it while he was a younger puppy. So as he gets older, we can we'll always have like a visual of be reminded of like his puppy age, and we'll always be able to get to see it as it progresses. I'm so sorry, I'm trying to change this back, but it's like my beautiful iPhone here is just not letting me change it back. Give me 1 second. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Got it. Yeah, so I actually, speaking of Star Wars, I did a theory earlier, well, I did a theory today, but that one's kind of silly. The one I did earlier on this week, excuse me, sorry, I did one about Plo Koon, and if he could actually survive Order 66, and how he would have survived Order 66 if he wasn't in a starfighter and he was like on the ground with the lightsaber switched on. Like, if you would reverse, do you remember the Ki-Adi-Mundi scene where he was like, right when he sensed that the clones were going to turn on him, like he sensed it because he was able to turn around and like acknowledge something was wrong. I feel like Plo Koon was way better. Now, if an average Jedi like Ki-Adi-Mundi could have done it, Plo Koon definitely would have sensed it too. And I believe that Plo Koon, being the master duelist he was very skilled with lightsabers, and especially the forms that he was mastering, or mastered, I guess. He was able to defeat Yoda in the dueling chamber. And not only that, he has a different advantage than most of the other Jedi. All of the other Jedi, if you want to get technical, he had electric judgment, which was a weaker form of Force lightning, but it was like it would still be enough to spread and hit all those clone troopers that were lined up. No, it doesn't show me. All it shows me is I have 6 likes, which is awesome. It shows me 6 likes, and then it shows me like a symbol of a diamond, and it just says 0 next to it. I'm not too sure what that even means, to be honest. Because I don't think that means subscribers, because I got a couple of subscribers, so I'm not too sure. Or maybe it does, or I don't know. Anything that's like delayed, it's definitely my fault. It's definitely my phone. So I just want to throw that out there. But no, it doesn't tell me. I'm assuming it's just you and Weot. Oh, really? That's impressive. That's a lot of people. That's like a whole room. That's like a whole kitchen room or dining room full of people. Oh yeah, it's Frankie Luch. I'm pretty sure it's Frankie Luch. It'll be it should be a picture of my guy with a Ghastly. I'm trying to upgrade my guy into a Gengar so I can take out one of those gigantic Max Blastoises or Charizards. I have nobody to play with, so I always have to try to do the raid by myself. Yeah, let me know if you found it, because if not, I can check again and pull it up so I can check if I'm messing up the name or anything. But it should be me and Ghastly. Yeah, that game's kind of fun. I have I don't know, I use it as an excuse to go out with Revan sometimes too, and then oh, I appreciate that. I'm trying to excuse me, by the way, I didn't mean to burp. I'm trying to find out old strategies, but I don't know if you put it together. I'm very like stubborn. I'll only use the Pokemon that I grew up like watching and playing with, like on the old Pokemon Gold, Silver, Red and Yellow and Blue and all that. So like pretty much only Kanto or Johto. I won't use any of these new guys. And it's nothing against them, it's just I don't know them. So it's like I could get this one that looks really cool. In reality, he's not that good. At least I know the old school ones from when I was a kid, and it reminds me of when I was a kid. So like I'm all for that sort of like anything like that. I do watch Star Wars on my phone. I watch a lot of Star Wars channels too. I try to watch like people that do fan-made stuff. I watch regular Star Wars, obviously. I'll watch other people's theories, and it'll like prompt me to ask questions of my own when they're talking about certain things. I'll find something that they mention and be like, well, wait a minute, what about that? Like the thing with Order 66. Like nobody saw Anakin and that whole battalion of the 501st marching into the temple. Like nobody saw them until they got into the temple and started firing. Like I know there's security cameras inside because Obi-Wan and Yoda checked them out, but was there no cameras outside? Like not even a droid that could have been like, hey, you know, why is everybody? There was a lot of clone troopers, like enough to take down the entire temple. You're telling me nobody's, and how did they get there? You know, did the gunships drop them off in front of the temple? Like nobody heard the gunships coming? Or were they marching through the streets? Would nobody see them marching through the streets? Like nobody's gonna be like, hey, there's a big battalion of clone troopers coming our way. How did not? And you guys are supposed to be Jedi. You're supposed to sense this stuff. Everyone's awareness was on one. It's like nobody knew this was happening. And then, yeah, and you know what got me so weird is that like, arguably, you could say the droids were more accurate than the clone troopers. And that's another theory I have, is that I think droids were actually more accurate than clone troopers. Because if we look at the fatality numbers of droids and clones, there's a lot of clones. There's a lot of clone fatalities. So it's like they already kind of had preparation to deal with blaster fire, especially in large concentrated amounts. My question is, why were the Jedi not able to beat the troopers? Yeah, that's my point. It's like they were able to do numerous things against vastly outnumbered, like always being outnumbered by blaster fire, by arguably more sophisticated and hands-on enemies. It's like they caught you off guard. I get that. Maybe like for the first 2 or 3 shots, but then you're focused, and it's like how everyone just died like that either shows how bad Yoda was then, because then that's a testament to how bad Yoda was, because this was the condition. This was like what was the standard in the Jedi Order then. There was only what 6 or 7 actual Jedi that could do things, and then the rest were all below average. I mean, if we want to look at that, I mean, the way they lost, that temple fell probably within an hour. If we want to think about it, it fell in like what, an hour? All the Jedi that were left in there. It doesn't matter if they were young or not. A Jedi should have an edge over a clone. A Jedi should be worth 5 clone troopers. I get it. The younglings should have been the only ones that went down without a fight. No one, and I don't mean to say it like that, but I don't know. I think that the Jedi dropped the ball. I think that it goes back to my $1 million like argument from back in the day. The Jedi from the old Republic era were twice as powerful from the Jedi from the Clone Wars era, and that's 100% proven even here at this moment. Because even when the Sith went to war with the Jedi, have you ever thought of something to play an instrument? Like I used to sing. There's actually I have to find it because it's someone else's video, but there's a video of a young 10-year-old me at a Strawberries. I don't know if anyone remembers the Strawberries music store. Me singing with a band called Waltham, and about 45 minutes, or I don't know, about 3/4 of the way through, he pulls me up onto the floor to sing I think 1 or 2 songs with him. And if you ever want confirmation too, look close. Hold on, I have to find it. Where is it? You can't really see. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, you can't really see it anymore. But I have this birthmark right here, and it's more visible when I was a kid, but that's like sort of the telltale that it's definitely me. But it was when I was a kid. Actually, I think I commented on the channel too, on the video. So you'll actually even see my channel comment there. But yeah, I used to sing, and then I went to a rock camp when I was young too. I went twice on 2 separate occasions, and that was fun. But the second time they paired us with a dude that played the saxophone, so it was like we had to incorporate that somehow. And then I don't know, we made it work. But I mean, it was like back in the day, it was so fun. I had a guitar, but my dad played a lot of guitar. That's why he was quick to give me a guitar to try to teach me, but I never really had the patience to learn the guitar. He bought me a drum set. I never had the patience to work with the drums. And I always liked singing, and then I always like just, I don't know, I appreciate music. Everything about music I appreciate. And then I got into the era where I started listening to a lot of hip-hop. Because when I started going to the alternative high school and I had to go on the short bus, one of the dudes was he came from this area in the city, and he started showing me. The first song I ever heard was Tupac, Hit 'Em Up, and then from there I started listening to, who did I start listening to? I started listening to like rappers like Red Cafe and Pusha T, and then like I still keep like that era, like Beanie Siegel. I still keep music like that around too to this day. But nowadays I listen to like, honestly, I don't know what I listen to. A lot of Yellow Wolf, I'd say that. But I'd say Yellow Wolf, and then old school 80s stuff. Like I used to listen. I met Vince Neil from Motley Crue. I met Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. I met Bret Michaels from Poison. I met Ricky Rocket, the drummer from Poison. I met, dude, those guys were cool. My dad took me to a concert. I was in elementary school, and he took me to a Poison concert. And this is how crazy it was, right? Here's who opened for them. Skid Row. And then this is when Motley Crue was broken up. So it was just Vince Neil and like this band he got to play with him, and he would just play all the old school Motley Crue songs. And then came Poison. And I was a younger kid, so what's funny about this, now that I said I met Bret Michaels, this is how it all happened. This really lovely lady that was talking to my dad, she was a very nice lady. Sorry. Sorry, the horn threw me off. She was a very nice lady, and she ended up giving me and my dad backstage passes. And then we ended up going backstage after the show, and I met the drummer, and he gave me a pair of his drumsticks, and they were like, if anyone knows Poison, the dude has these really cool drumsticks. He calls them bottle rockets, and I got to keep them. But as it got later and later, Bret Michaels didn't come right in right away. It got later and later, and I freaking fell asleep. And then my dad woke me up when it was time to go. He goes, yeah, you missed Bret Michaels. He saw you. He was like, oh, poor kid, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, you're kidding me. And I fell asleep, and I didn't get a chance to actually meet him, but he met me, I guess, technically. He saw me when I was asleep. And that's my story about meeting Bret Michaels. I met Vince Neil because my dad ended up knowing, he ended up becoming friends at that night with this bass guitar player. His name was Jason Hook. And he ended up, as you behold, he was the guitarist that was playing for Vince Neil. And then a couple months later, he called my dad and was like, hey, we're playing over here if you want to come by. And he brought me with him. And they had the tour bus, and he was like, yeah, Vince is in the tour bus, you want to meet Vince? And then we went in there. I got a picture with it. I got to find it somewhere. Me with Tommy Lee is on my old Facebook somewhere. But I met Vince Neil on his tour bus with my dad, and then I stayed on Vince Neil's tour bus with whoever the girl was. And then my dad went into the club where Vince Neil was playing, watched the concert, and hung out with Vince Neil for the rest of the night. And then I was asleep again, came back, woke me up when it was time to go, and that was it. But that was my first and only time being on a tour bus. It was pretty cool, actually. Oh, well, thank you for staying. I really appreciate you staying. It means a lot that you stayed this long. Wow, I've been on for a while. I can't believe that. But yeah, I got to meet everyone. I met Tommy Lee at a book signing down in near BU. I went with my dad. He had this book called Tommy Land out, and I was awake for that. I got the picture. I got a picture with Vince Neil too. I gotta find where that is. I got a picture of Vince Neil, Tommy Lee. Who else do I have a picture of? I don't think anyone else that would probably jump. I could only imagine. I would assume it's me. Well, we all left, so probably just maybe you and maybe most of my friends don't. Well, the three friends I have, one of them is kind of busy, so I expect him not to watch. The other one, he drives a truck, so he's probably in the truck right now. And then my other friend, we had a falling out, but he kind of blames me for his YouTube, and so he doesn't really want to talk. He blocked me on everything, but I would assume it's just 3 or 4 people on here with us. But it's cool if there's more or less, I don't mind. It's always just cool to have whoever's here. And sorry again if you can hear Revan snoring. He's normally louder, but at least he's kind of not as loud this time. And, it's 8:18 or 8:17. See, I keep forgetting to change the car clock because of the daylight savings, but I gotta feed him soon. Oh, check it out. I park kind of close to the McDonald's thing, so like all night I'm gonna be hearing, "Welcome to McDonald's. Are you gonna be using the mobile app?" Or, "Please pull to the next window." Oh, my buddy. I'm sorry I woke you up, dude. I gave him my blanket because he needs to stay warm just in case it does get cold. What, McDonald's? I do sometimes when there's like deals on the app because I try not to spend too much money if I don't have to. Like I try to prioritize at least as long as he's got food first, then I'll make sure I get myself something. And then same at night, if I think it's too cold, I'll either take whatever I'm using, my blanket or whatever, and I'll cover him up, and then I'll take my jacket back off and sort of put it in reverse and use it as like a blanket. But honestly, I have a funny feeling he doesn't get cold, because when he was running out there in like 7-degree weather, I was like, come on, let's come back in. All he wanted to do was keep running. I feel like he doesn't care about the weather. He just wants to be a puppy. And that's where I kind of feel bad, because like I don't exactly have a nice fenced-in yard where you can go run around. I kind of have to we're always sort of on the go. Yeah, I do know that, and sometimes I do that. There's like, unfortunately, I won't really go on Fridays because of Lent, but normally I would on Fridays. But once Lent's over, I'll probably do that on Fridays again. But I'll normally try to do the coffee and stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. He's a good little dude, and he has a jacket, but I think he's starting to outgrow it. He's becoming big, but he's not as big as his little brother. His little brother's like 20 pounds heavier than him. It's actually pretty neat. You see the genetics of his dad. Like he took after the mom, and his brother took after the dad. Big old Rottweiler, and they like to play around. Revan still likes to hold his own against him, which is like what's so interesting about Revan. He wants to establish himself as the top dog, which I think is funny because he's got such a playful personality. Like oh, that's cool. If there is people, if they want, I appreciate you. If you said hi, you don't have to say hi though. But it's cool that everybody came in here then. Yeah, I was giving him blueberries today. So he likes blueberries, but he like doesn't trust them first. And like he does this wrestling match with the blueberries where like he'll put it in his mouth, chew it a little bit, and then like throw it back out, and then like throw himself on his back and try to grab it from like while being upside down. And then spit it back out again, and then like throw it around with his paw, then chase it, then eat it again, and then he'll look at you, he'll look at you like he's chewing it, and then he'll drop it out of his mouth again, chase it around, and then finally like he'll stomp on it by mistake and squish it and realize the inside is edible, and then he'll eat it. Yeah, I captured some of it today, so I'm gonna upload it at some point. He's yeah, then I put 2 down, and what he was doing was he was throwing them around, but picking up the other one, dropping it next to the other one, then batting one away, picking the other one up and bringing it over. It was strange behavior, but you know what? He's making a game out of it, I guess, so I respect it. So crazy sometimes. But that's what I love about, like, this is like my first dog, like not like my family's dog, like my first personal, like I'm responsible, and like I gotta say it's been a great experience, even though they say puppy years are the most disastrous. I mean, I could kind of agree, but it's cool, you know. I really enjoy it. This little maniac dude, he keeps me young. He keeps my mind racing in a good way, not in a bad way. Oh, he's listening. Look, he's listening. Are you listening, bro? It's like, no, I'm not listening. I'm not listening. Oh, he's so funny. Okay, no, you can keep your ear up. My bad, dude. Oh, you're so funny. He's a little funny guy. Funny little baby boy. Yeah, but how's everybody's night? Anything interesting going on? Any other topics that are interesting for anyone that they might want to talk about? Oh, sorry for the dude again who got timed out. I didn't mean to time you out that long if you're still watching. Yeah, he does. I don't know why I did that. It was just a random event, but we still love him. All right, buddy? Buddy boy. Yeah, no, I'm pretty much just chilling too. Not really doing too much. Has anybody, oh, we got a racer guy coming. You guys hear the engine? You always see some interesting stuff happen here. And when I say that, I normally mean those people that normally, the weird ones that always border up their stuff. They're always arguing with each other, and it's like no judgment here, but it's like it's an odd couple because the age gap seems to be significant. But like I said, I'm not judging anybody. But they argue like they definitely like I guess opposites attract, but like they get into some pretty crazy shouting matches to the point where like the dog is like I have to pull the dog from the window because it's like if they look to where we are, they're gonna just see this dog staring, and it's like even though you know it's a dog and people won't mind, I still try to like practice some bit of like etiquette. I want to be neighborly and not have my dog staring at him, and but yeah, there's some weird stuff that goes on at night. I can't like. Yeah, like I said, I can't complain. It's very entertaining. But yeah. Oh, what? Right when you said that, one away. It went to 5. There was 6. I was actually pretty happy. Well, I'm still happy that there's 5. There could have been just 2. You know, I'm happy for me. It's just cool to have people here and like just talk amongst people and just be just be with everybody and not like have to like get people here by being controversial or like yelling and screaming and like well, I mean, I guess I can swear, but I don't know. I guess there's really no need to. Does everybody I don't know how many people are here, but I hope everybody that is here is having a great night. I know it's Sunday, so I hope everybody's getting ready for Monday. I know Monday's kind of like a day, but I think we can get through it. I actually don't have much going on tomorrow, so just I'm gonna try to get Revan out there to go and maybe go live with Revan out in the woods. It's supposed to be like 60 degrees tomorrow, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, just in case someone's watching from somewhere that doesn't use Fahrenheit and they use Celsius. I don't know how much Celsius that is though. I probably should have said that first before saying that, but yeah, I don't know how much that is in Celsius, but it's gonna be like 60, 65 degrees here. So it's going to be a chance for me to really let him go out for a longer period of time. We're going to actually like bring a toy out because last time he went and fetched like the largest stick he could find. So we're going to bring his actual ropes out and we're going to actually play around because I want him to experience the outdoors. And then pretty soon we'll get to put the front line on him, which will be fun because the ticks will be back. And then mosquito season's coming. So there's pluses and minuses, but you know what? I'm excited. I'm looking forward to everything. Positive mentality. I feel like my job's going to pick up more steam. I'm going to get a lot more clients. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited. A chance to like just, spread positivity, Let's just get happiness and give it back in return. And I think that that's the game plan. And it's hard to be sad when you're busy being happy. And I think that's the best thing to take out of this. I don't want to keep anyone else. I don't want to keep anyone. I took up enough of people's time, I think. I'll wrap up in like 2 or 3 minutes. And yeah, it was a pleasure. Oh, Brazil's in the house, dude. Hey, I was rooting for Alex Pereira yesterday, dude. I love that guy. He's a great guy. And I think he's gonna come back in the rematch. I thought he won personally, but I think he's gonna come back in the rematch and take the belt back. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see him. I think he's gonna do some big things, dude. Good to see you, dude. Hope your night has been well. I watched the UFC last night. It was not the result we wanted, but it was still, it's always cool to watch it. I have so much respect for all those fighters that put it all on the line and risk themselves going out there just to entertain everybody. It's a big thing, so I have so much respect for them, and I think that I wish them nothing but the best. They're making a lot. May they have a very healthy road while they're making a lot of money. That's all I can really ask for. Excuse me 1 second. I just have to put this on the charger. There we go. The phone was starting to die, and the charger's oh no, what just happened? And the charger doesn't really charge well. Hold on 1 second.